If it checks, let's go. And the new reactive is kind of working too, which is neat. Everybody! We're doing art today. And yeah, I've decided that I'm not patient enough to learn how to do the basics of art, so I'm just going to learn it by drawing stuff that I already understand, which in my case is going to be airplanes. So I decided to start off with a piece of fan art for Mint Fantome, because I found it incredibly art, because I ended up seeing a post made by her on Twitter at some point that ended up into a conversation between her and Zentreya talking about Ace Combat, because apparently Zen has played Ace Combat 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it gave me the idea to draw VTubers as aircraft, like military aircraft, as a sort of VTubers as Airpower series. And so, being that Mint was the one who started that conversation, I felt it was fitting that I draw her first. And, you know, I found it very convenient that there's an airplane named almost exactly the same thing. You know, the Fantome, and then there's the Phantom. So right now we're drawing the Fantome Phantom. I'm actually a lot more ahead on this than I started. This is currently just the line work. As for where we actually are, the drawing so far, you can see I've got a shitload of layers up and running already. But the actual drawing itself is gonna look something like this so far. I'm honestly just working on the shading at this point, and then we come up with whatever we come up with next. But this is actually what we're looking at drawing-wise in terms of the art piece. I still need to work on the clouds, but I think I've got the color scheme. I was trying to go for a sort of the paint scheme that you see on the Metal Gear Solid robots, because Mint is a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. So I'm trying to figure out if this is a dense enough pattern of items. Kind of thinking it isn't, but we'll have to give it a shot and see where it goes. Right now I'm working on the highlight layers for a lot of different things. As you can see, I've got these, and I'm working on the engine body highlights at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and turn everything else off and focus on what I need to do at the moment. We're going to go ahead and turn those off and that off. Cool. Now, where was I? I was using hard lines because I believe I was drawing the art for the engine intake, which looks pretty good from this angle. So now the question is, I think I ended up finishing out the art for this section here. I think I need some, right, I was hitting the point where I was going to switch over from drawing shadows to drawing highlights on the engine sector. Let's go for the soft brush here. And we're going to go straight into, hey, Butterfly, how are you? I'm good. I have decided that I'm not patient enough to learn through studies, so I'm just going to take the airplanes that I understand and turn them into pieces of fan art. And I've started work on this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn on all the layers so you can see what I'm looking at. I've decided to start off by making some from this. Yeah. I just got the idea from a conversation between Mint Fantome and Zen. Yeah, thanks. the honk reactive. But I got this idea from a conversation on Twitter between Mint and Zen. Mint Fantome and Zentreya. Mint was posting her Metal Gear Solid collection, a picture of it, and Zentreya spotted Ace Combat on the shelf. And they had a brief convo about the fact they really liked Ace Combat. And that gave me the idea of, wait a minute, I understand airplanes, I like airplanes, and I can draw airplanes. Let's just draw VTubers as airplanes, and that's going to be my start as fan art. So we'll like, establish myself as a niche, not as drawing people, but as drawing vehicles. So I said to hell with it, and I'm trying to start off by making a F4 Phantom for Mint Fantome. And I'm using her paint scheme and trying to include some patterning from the Metal Gear Solid series that she loves so very damn much. Well, I shouldn't say damn much. She loves it a lot, and it's nice. She loves some Metal Gear Solid like I like planes. I shouldn't try and sound judgmental about it because that's just rude. But yeah, so now I'm just working on the highlighting and shading because I've already got most of the pieces done. Actually, What are your thoughts on this logo here? So I tried to basically take the eye patch from Metal Gear, from Snake's face, and kind of put the sort of mint Fantome ectoplasmic little wisp in the front with that corner thing on the head that she has on her head. I don't know what that's called. What's it called? Do you know what it's called? Honestly, my concern is that's not going to be visible enough. Like, you can kind of see here the name on the side, but I'm worried that I'm looking at it on the screen. It looks like the outline's just kind of blending in. I'm going to have to come up with a little logo. More of an idea. Who I was on about. Mint Fantome is a newly debuted independent VTuber who is working with Matara Khan from VShojo. And they're old friends from, quote-unquote, we'll say past lives. So yeah, they've been working together, making a podcast they put out every Monday, but Mint is, we'll say, a former Corbo VTuber who is now an indie. And so, comes to silver, a lot of colors get washed out unless you're making them just as prominent. Interesting. Yeah. I was thinking of using white, but then I remembered that highlighting would have been a problem, so I made sure to avoid that, and I'm glad I did, because you can actually see highlights and shit. Let's see. I want to make sure, yeah, I'm on the right layer. I could turn off, let's just, you know what, I will keep it on just to see how everything kind of paints together. Hold up. Let's see if I can get this to actually go smooth. Let me see if I can organize my chords in a better way. And I dropped my stylus. Lovely. Oh. All right. I'll try and draw one continuous line from the engine intake to the exhaust nozzle. Hey, you know, I think that actually worked. Well, As you a shade off from white still shows the highlights, but then other colors have a chance to shine. Shade off from white. Unfortunately, that's what the main base color is. So white's kind of the next step up, which is a little inconvenient, I guess, for me. So this, the other problem I have is this. Also just hue shift the base color around and brighten as you see fit. Yeah. Let me see. So I like the highlight on this one. It kind of helps to bring out the corner. I'd have to cut it off of the engine a little bit, probably. But the only problem I have is that the way this action, the way the curvature, I'm actually going to see if I can bring up the line art real quick. Hold up, let me turn off the engine body base real quick. So the sketch layer is, you can kind of see because of the line art, the way that the Fantome's engine is designed is that it sort of has that, like, hold up. Just turn this down to here. This sort of, like, curvature on the inside. Because the engine intake narrows a little bit before it returns to the sort of roundish shape that is the engine nacelle. And I'm not sure if this... I'm not sure if this highlight captures that effectively. What do you think? Oh, wait, that's right. I can distort this independent of the actual fucking... Because I put the highlights on a separate... I don't know why I didn't think of that. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Oh, whoops. I picked up the wrong layer. Good thing I undid that. me see here. Yep. Shows the roundness of it, but you think a bit sharper highlight along the top. Show a little bit more dimension. Sharper. What do you mean by sharper? I think you're doing a good job with the explaining. I'm just trying to make sure I can I see things, not necessarily read things when it comes to artwork. So, like, yeah. Are you thinking as in, like, make it bolder? Oh, shit, I can't actually... Because, ooh... You know what? Maybe I should make the, slimming the highlight more against the shadow I have it next to should help shrink the highlight a bit against the shadows. So you think the shadows should be broader than the highlight? In terms of stroke width? The shadow shape is fine. The highlight should be slimmer along the top because it's a smaller area when looking at it from the point of view you have. Okay. So should I be using the highlight to indicate the top, or should I be using it to indicate the corner? Sort of like the edge of the intake, because that's where I feel like I'm seeing it. Actually, wait. No, because, right, I'm looking at things from a different angle. I have a lot of trouble considering lighting angles. Should be using two separate highlights, one for light, one for shadow. Next to the shadow to indicate the top of the engine, another to indicate the curve of the edge. Yeah, okay. So the shadow to indicate the top of the engine cell. So rather than use like an airbrush stroke, maybe sort of like a thin Baskerville line, like a really thin line here, just like along the edge of the shadow, indicate the top of the engine, another indicate the curve of the edge. So ooh. Hmm. Hold on. So, let me see. Try drawing a similar shape and then try and describe that to you. Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. Please do. Also, if you want, when you have that reference, if you can DM it to me via Discord so I can also look at it as you're explaining it, that would be epic. Because that'll really help me out. Sweet. Oh boy. Oop. Why is my hand shaking so much? Fucking hell. Ugh. Hold up. There we go. Just have a little more space. Hold up. Let's set the stabilization a little higher. And then I wonder, did that work? I also feel like my line art is kind of screwing things up here. Ooh, wait. That may have actually worked. Ooh. I feel like these need to be a little less bright. Oh, hold up. I see pictures. Oh, hold up. You clicking buttons is just knocking buttons everywhere. Shadows go, getting darker towards the crease where the metal is bent. Yep. Highlights along the shadow and along the other rounded corner. Top highlight by the shadow will be more blurred out and somewhat fused with the shadows. highlight by the shadow will be more blurred out and somewhat fused with the shadows. The one along the edge would stay pretty sharp as if the light is hitting it directly, reference to what they would look side by side. Okay. I feel like the highlights up here in this section need to be a little bit thicker. I mean, the shadows, not the highlights. What color did I use? I used this. Wonder if it would use the, I wonder if using the smudging tool would help at all. I feel like it's going to make things worse. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Nope, shit, not that one. Smudging tool is here to save the day. Oops. I say as I fuck it up. Did that help or make it worse? Or no real difference? Nope. Helped a little bit. Okay. Sweet. Now then, for lighting, should I try and have one going along the entire... Like, I have this one here at the top of this, that there. Should I have that, highlight going along the entire top? No, the highlight won't completely follow the curves like the shadows will. Interesting. Highlight won't completely follow the curves. Okay. Is it supposed to be more straight? Towards the ends of the start of the object, the highlights fade. Okay. Cool. I can fix that real quick. Shit. Okay. Wait, hold up. No. Okay. Nope, too big. All right, and... I think that helps. I feel like they start... Do they fade too much at the front? Make a quick rotation towards making that. center body base, no, center body highlights, my bad. You do well where they start to fade? Okay, cool. It's a little more opaque, so I have more to smudge with. Sweet. You. Nope. Too big. Yep, that's doing well. I think that helps to kind of illuminate the top edge a little bit. Still feel like I'm not considering the lighting angles well enough. Like, it's sort of a top diagonal light angle, but it feels weird and somewhat wrong. Actually, you know what? Hold up. I have an idea. I'm going to go ahead and create a layer up here. And just have a sort of like... Lighting can be a pain in the ass. Yeah. I think I have at the very least for the tail, I know that the shadow is supposed to cast sharply. I was looking at a lot of reference images in real life of this exact airframe, and I noticed that, like, shadows in the corners would be soft and blurry around the edges, but shadows cast by other parts of the frame itself would be really sharp-edged. So I'm going to try and draw... I'm going to take this layer here and just draw sort of a line over the edge of where I expect this shadow to be cast. Wait, shit, nope. Say it's about here-ish. Based on that angle. That makes sense, right? Like the tail would cast that shadow across that line. All right. Then, real quick. Let's select... What was it? Center body base real quick. We can go to center body highlight. We'll use this. And I will go ahead and... Oh, right. It's not showing up there because I'm not drawing on the friggin' hedrals. I'm drawing on the center body. Hold up. Nope. Oh, come on. I think I'm going to change to a medium airbrush here and just go along this line. Nope. Because it's a hard shadow. Shit, wrong button. There it is. All right, and now go ahead and just wait. I should have the opacity of that changed first. Probably be smart. Sweet. Now, scale up the size of that line real quick. God damn it, I keep migrating high. Nope. Ugh. 9. There. All right, and oh, those are items from the other layer. All right. Change the eraser stroke. You know, I'm tempted to just leave the streaks there. No, that's not going to work. No. Just erase them, I guess, down to where they're not even noticeable. There we go. All right. Skidoobadoop. Skibbidoop. Cool. Oh, wait, hold. Nope. Well, yeah. Yep, not noticeable. Good, good, good. Sweet. My ears do not like having headphones over them for too long. Not entirely sure why. If I could figure out an answer to that, I'd be saving myself a lot of headache. Real quick, gonna hide this layer. And we're gonna go ahead and oh. So how has your day been so far, Butterfly? I know I'm being awfully quiet and not exactly great streaming energy. And well, had pizza not too long ago. Nice. I took my mom out to get sushi. That was good. Ooh, Minecraft is nice. Yeah, I want to play more Minecraft on the guild server. I want to build stuff. I like building things. We were on what was it? Friggin' Friday. We were doing some Minecraft and we were trying to build a kelp farm so we wouldn't have to worry about fuel for the furnaces. And yeah, that was a process. I ended up having to go to the Nether to get it. Found an old fortress. It's been adventurous trying to... I've been using Minecraft to learn German, or to help me learn German. And so I've been playing the game with the language pack set to German, and it's been a learning curve and a half trying to figure out. Enjoyed building? All your friends are so focused on advancing? Yeah. Or just, like, run off somewhere into the wilderness, isolate yourself, and then just start from scratch. Just be like, and then when they come along, they're like, hey, what's going on over here? And they're like, oh shit, there's a person here. Oh shit, it's Butterfly. But yeah, past a certain point, the game kind of gets boring, which is why, I think that's why I've only ever beaten the Ender Dragon once, and I've been playing Minecraft probably since around the ballpark of, I think, like 2012-ish. I just don't care about progressing. I don't, I just want to play the game. And so, I've only beaten the Ender Dragon once. Because I don't care. I just want to do whatever I want. Advancing, progressing is not a goal to me. I wish I had some of the pictures of some of the old stuff I'd built. It would have been a great time. Sweet. In the track, yeah, the only time I did it was with others as well. I see you. It's not good. Excellent. Some of the photos, some of your old builds, but they were Griff you no longer associated with. Yeah, that does happen. Mine were all in a single-player world that ended up getting deleted because it was on my dad's computer and he had to reformat it at one point and lost everything because I didn't back it up and I didn't know how to do that. So that was a shame. I still remember what that old world looked like, too. My original house was built in a lake, which I discovered later was a good counter against Enderman. So that was a good time. Alright, now let's figure out how I'm going to make this. I feel like the shadows on these should be a little darker because they're directly in the shade or directly out of the sun, right? Turn up the opacity a little bit. No, that looks too dark. Might as well be painted a different color. think his brush size scales a little quick. The shadows on these feel a little big. Maybe I need a medium airbrush with a bigger brush size. A higher opacity or lower opacity. Ooh, that looks significantly better. Kind of. Not really. Well, actually, hold. How does that shadowing look for the tail? It doesn't feel dark enough, but the highlighting gradient feels right. Maybe deepen the shadows a little. Deepen is in, like, make it darker, or is in, like... Darker, okay. Wish there was a way to change the brush size as I moved it down the tail. Actually, wait, I have an idea. Change the brush size to a soft airbrush with a low opacity. Bring the brush size down a little bit. How's that? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and use the smudge tool on the edges of these. There we go. Cool. All right. All right, now... Let's say, wait, now hold up. Let's make that brush size a little bigger and make it more opaque. Let's say this is the shadow cast. Roughly like that. Actually, hold up. I just thought of a thing. It would be more this direction because the light is, in theory, hitting it from the top and the slight left or slight right, which would push that at about there. Right. Also mean that this probably goes about this way, right? So I actually got to make this shadow down here a little darker. Or at least a little wider, I guess, is a better word. Oh, wait, shit. I'm using the wrong frickin' layer. I'm not on the center body highlights. There it is. That explains why that was over the edge. I was like, what the fuck's going on there? All right. There's got to be a way I can... Ooh. Unfortunate. Art, yes. Yep. That's it's my interpretation of the honk meme. The reactive is supposed to be run after that. Oh, and Bell will do one better. It's airplane art. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to, shade up an F4. Oh, whoops, shit. I was about to change the brush back. My bad. Oh, god damn it. No, chill. Thank you. Boogity boogity. So what you been up to, Belle? Butterfly here is helping me out with learning how to shade things and consider lighting angles, and it's been very helpful. I needed the assistance. Oh, shit. He's actually... Oh, I mean, I feel like it helped. Oh, shit. Hold the phone. I fucked something up. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have had any idea of how to put the shadows together until you had said something. So, I mean, learning a 1901 Navy that consists of ships built in the 1980s against the French and Chinese. Well, what year are the French and Chinese navies built in? All these wars, the modernizations will commence. Still trying to... You're trying to fight a world war on this friggin... on that economy? My dude. Shit. Oh, that is much better. Nope. That helps. Good question, I don't know. 20-some pre-dreadnought battleships. I'm going to build 20 new... Make sure you consider your resources. One doesn't necessarily recycle into the other. I mean, granted, you've been playing that game longer than I have, so you probably know. But, also love the Phantom. Yeah. So, I gave Butterfly the spiel. Oh, hold up. We got an ad. Whoops. Let's see. Whoa, whoops, forgot to clip the mask there. Nope. Way too much. Much better. Yeah, so the Phantom is, I figured I'm gonna learn art by just drawing what I know how to draw. You good. Pile drive, plus no, I also have to worry about not pile driving your economy to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. Actually, that's an interesting phrase. I'm gonna steal that. All right. Cool. Next. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. That actually looks pretty good. Turn off those lines. No, actually, we need those lines on. I'm gonna real quick make a horizontals highlights layer. Rename. Pile driving, the game tempts you to do it again. Yeah, I'm gonna steal the phrase of pile driving my economy to the bottom of the ocean. Maybe for a video later. I don't know. Where was I? Cool. Whoop, all right, there we go. Let's see. God, this bourbon is tempting me to go back upstairs and go grab the remainder of my General Tso's chicken and tempura shrimp. One TB. Get rid of that PT boat. That mosquito fleet gonna get you. Gonna suck you dry. Cool. And now we are going to... Cool. And now... full domain calls. Size. TV must legit look at your shit funny and drop. Waiting to see the DD monicure to be scared. Okay. I'm starting to lose track of what half of these ship names mean. I don't know all the ships. I know all the planes, and I know all the tanks. The ships, forget it. You give me a boat, and I'm like, yeah, I gather the DD meant destroyer, but like, the fuck is the monicure? Is that the Frenchie? All right. Turn off these lines and see what we got here. Butterfly, what are we thinking here? These shadow lines look sharp enough? Well, I just thought of adding them to the engine body as well. You got distracted. Okay, you good. I'm just trying to see if these shadows fit, like, on the wings and tail. I'm just real quick adding it, like, dropping in the ones for the, Give me a minute. I'm trying to fix these shadows. turn these lines off. I'm just looking for a second opinion on the lines, on the shadow lines. Nope. Oh, the shadows gives a natural curve to it. Okay, thank you. Whew. Like giving it I'm like using 110% of my power right now. Pulling a full Shaggy. Okay, I need to turn down the stabilization on this. It's getting in my way. Cool. And now I think we use the smudge tool to finish it off and naturalize this look just a little bit. Oh, wait, shit, hold up. I gotta redo the shading here. Nope. Ooh. Why does this look so good? Moniker is a name. I'm starting to say once you see the DD moniker or the DD label. Ah, ship class. Oh, when you see the destroyer is when you're terrified. Got it. And yeah, it does. You know, oddly enough, this really does look like it's made of metal, but the tail doesn't. I've got some hesitations on the tail. Maybe I should try using a bit of the smudge tool there. Nope. Or rather, a little more airbrush eraser. Alright. It's not working because I'm not editing on that layer. Might do it. Other gunners are going to lose your... Nope. Gotta make this thing smaller. Nah, looks like I'm gonna have to, place a little more of this here. Butterfly, do you have any recommendations on how to smooth out the shadow on the tail? Go ahead and erase these because I know they're there. Shit, not all of them. I'm going to add a little bit of shadow along the base here, just to emphasize the shadow of the canopy. Blur to view if you have it, or use a soft eraser brush. Yeah, I've been using the smudge tool. Should I adjust the opacity a little more? Just opacity, have a smoother edge. Trying to get them to actually go too white so it looks like they have a highlight. That looks better. That helps, I think. Add a little bit of a highlight to the corner here. Oops, not selected the right layer, of course. All right. I think that helps a little bit. Kind of. Hold up. The same thing for probably. That's better. There's got to be a way to add that kind of line of that highlighting that we have on the top of the engine body to the nose, because every time I look at photographs of the Phantom in flight, it's got those same highlights on the nose section, and I don't know how to get them there. I wish there was a way to adjust a butterfly. How do I adjust the texture of the engine nozzles to make it look more like a rougher... Like, the metal's still shiny, but it's also more worn. I need to add more wear and tear to the look. Sort of like that... it's almost like tarnish. Almost like a tarnished look to it. Have an image from Google of the natural texture and layer under the shade colors. Layer it under the shade colors, but over the base color and lower the opacity. Interesting. So you just trace the shadows. Huh. Does that disrupt the clipping mask, though? Shouldn't my knowledge use metabang so it could be different? Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Nope, wait, I'm doing all of this wrong. Hold up. Full stop. Hold up. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, oh shit, that was my mic. Huh. Successfully cheated the game. You've also successfully failed as something like a cloud pastel brush or something. There's a similar color. The meme tuber screen. Yes. Welcome in, Crumb. How you doing? Madam Butterfly is helping me learn art. Bell is telling me how he's cheating a warship game, and I'm drawing an airplane. Like a stuck pig made spicy food for dinner. Oh no. I mean, personally, I love spicy food, but hey. It's weird. Theory, adding shading. I feel like adding shading should make the color darker. Thanks for popping in and asking questions while you were working on the TR3. No problem. I'm like, especially after working on some of these art streams, I understand what I'm starting to get the understanding that it's really hard to, you know, the streams are a lot more fun when you have people asking you questions. So I figured, you know, might be helpful. By the way, the TR3 was the light tank, correct? Yeah. Hold up. What the fuck am I looking at here? Where are you all fucked up? Nope. Alright. Alright, cool. So I did in fact fuck that up. I don't need those colored on the outside here. However, I do need these colored up on the inside. People are doing something artistic usually stimulates motivation and creativity. Yes, that is exactly the mood. Alright. Oh, shite. That's a slightly different shade, I think. Hold up, let's take care of this real quick. This is sticking out of me like a sore thumb and I want it gone. Ooh. That almost went badly. Excellent. Good. Good, good, good. Yes. Now to go real quick to the horizontal wing plane and alter the shadow angle. Jesus Christ, chaos! Holy fuck! That is loud. I have my headset turned up way up too to actually hear the fucking music properly so I don't have to deafen everybody else. Okay, thanks for the redeem. That came through and just scared the holy shit out of me. We didn't hear it? Oh shit. Hold up. The lerps are not muted. What the fuck? Interesting. Hold up, let me check something here. I shouldn't even, in theory, have a setting for this. Oh, yep. There it is. I fixed it. It was set to the wrong output protocol. Only set to my monitor, because for some, I didn't even make that setting there. It's there for some stupid-ass reason. Alright. Now then. Let's, hold up. Try it again. You can. This time I've got it set up straight, so it should work. And this time I'm not looking, so you should catch me even more off guard this time. Probably just... Nope. A little too much. Oh shit, those are part of the hedrals. Got it. Interesting. I thought I was going to go over at least part of the stripe here. Hold on, real quick, turn this off. Okay, there's a little bit on it. All right. You know what? Good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect there. You know what? No, that makes sense because it's that intersection there. That looks better. That looks much better. The angling on the shadowing, angling on the shading. Switch back to the hedrals real quick. Go ahead and just shade in these because why are there pits of view that are open? There we go. I think I need some more highlights. Some of the shading seems a little inconsistent. Or at least I need more highlights specifically because right now the look is just inconsistent with what it actually is. At least that's the way it feels to me. Thank you. Why did I say thank you? What the fuck? Brain no do. Nope, nope. Need to turn that shit way down. All right. No, the highlight's too bold. I need to be more transparent. That's why it feels wrong. There it is. Cool. Nope. Those need to be in the center body highlights. Ooh, actually, I don't like that last line. Boogada boogada. Come on. Butterfly, what do you think of the highlights on the nose here? You feel a little wrong. I feel like I need something there. Okay. Oh, sure shit. Yeah, I think it's stuck. Interesting. Okay. Now I need to do this for the wings. I mean, for the payload. All right, let's see. Payload highlights. Use a darker gray this time because they're really under the wing. Oh, that almost feels perfect. Holy shit. Jesus. That actually looks exactly the way I wanted it. What the fuck? Hold up. Huh. I'm concerned that the shadows I'm making aren't matching up in terms of a level of detail / realism. Maybe I should deepen the shadows down here on the engine center body, or engine body. Hmm. Ooh, hold up. Let's smoothing for the front edge here. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, wrong one. Oh shit, this is starting to look a lot better. Oh shit. Real quick, rotate to center body highlights. All right. I'm gonna try the technique of the shadow, or rather the highlight, hugging the shadow. Cool. Verticals, highlights. There we go. Be a lot closer to the edge here. Shadow's a bit too dark is what I feel the problem is. So we're gonna go ahead. I wish there was a way to do like an inverted airbrush. Sweet. All right. Oh, all right. All right, we're gonna add a mask here. Actually, yeah, only a small amount of mask. It's mostly gonna be to these lights. Clipping mask. I wonder if this will clip to the... Does anybody know if adding a clipping mask on top of a masked layer only clips the layer mask? Well, we're about to find out. Asking a non-art person. I'm asking you, well, then I'm not asking you, Bill. Fucking smartass. Now then... I did posit the question. Everybody, yeah. All right. Now let's add some medium airbrush and we'll switch to white. Or in this case, a much lighter shade of blue. Craft the highlights here. No. Hold up. No, I think I'd rather use the white here. Cool. Hold up. Let me import the image I'm thinking of. Sort of file. Come on. Maybe that's a bad angle, but... Nope. I'm gonna need a different one of the references. What about... Yeah, hold up. Okay, I see what's going on here. So there's like 4 highlight colors going on. And we're going to do a soft brush there. Oh. Ooh, that looks kind of nice, but... Alright. Hold up. Nope. Stop it. Still learning how to use an iPad. Now we'll switch to the white and make like sort of hard outline here somewhere. Fuck. Son of a bitch, this one's hard. turn up the stabilization for this bit. Okay, first of all, we're going to smooth off this edge. Honestly, I feel like that's good enough. All right, here we go. Come on. Nope, that's the eraser, not the smudger. Oh, shit, that's a large-ass brush. Hold the phone. Nope. All right. Now I just gotta fix the these center body highlights here. Might be overthinking the need for this. All right. Okay. Let's experiment a bit, I guess. Low opacity. Does that help? Oh, actually, I think that helps a lot. Holy shit, that may have been what I was looking for. So what are we thinking so far? I think I need to bolden the, honestly, I think I need to bolden the colors on the main frame a little bit. Hold up. Gotta choose the right layer first. That helps. That, I feel, helps a lot. Nope, shit. Right. So I'm not using... This ain't the highlights layer. Want to deepen the colors on the tail? What do you mean deepen the colors? Like, make the tail like the... Which one? Underneath the one tail fin. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, now that you mention it, I am 100% following. Top of the tail fin also feels a little too dark. Like up here. Wait, top of which tail fin? In regards to light direction? Like, so you mean the vertical tail seems a little too dark? Horizontal one seems a little too dark in regards to light direction. Interesting. Wait, hold up. I'm not operating on the right layer. Hedrals, highlights. Oh, is that better? Coming from the front and back as well. All right, a little better. I'm going to go ahead and try downsizing the brush just a little bit. No, actually, hold up. Should I darken the back of the vertical tail then? Because in theory, the idealized light angle is it's only coming from like the top down direction, but vertical bit is a little hard to tell detail at a distance. Maybe pop the panel lines on the top of the shading. Honestly, I think it's just a little too dark. I'm going to cut the shading slightly. I'm just like... Nope. Is that better? I feel like that's better. Maybe another run over with that. That is much better. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Now let's get the center body underneath Flannel lines blend into the shading still, though? Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the case. There's only so many shades of grays I can use. Nope. Nope. All right, hold up. I'd actually go to the Hedral's layer real quick and... Wait, nope, not you. I'm gonna get rid of that. Nope. Shit. Thank you. I'm going to put a new layer over the top of the shading. Unfortunately, the panel lines are in the same layer as the base coloration. So, it's probably not going to work. Because I haven't yet figured out how to get the line art and the colors onto different layers. I could. Hold up. I'm going to go ahead and speaking of verticals here. Nope. Actually, I'm going to do that because it kind of almost makes sense that some light would bounce off of the horizontal tail onto the vertical tail. And that clears up the panel lines a little bit. Hold up. A little more firm with the erasure up here. That feels much better. Now it just feels like the center body's lacking a little bit. On the top. Am I the only one who thinks that I think the top needs a little bit more highlighting slash shading? Yeah, but not overly much. Highlighting or shading does it need? What do you think? Tiny bit of shadow? Yeah, agreed. Alright, medium airbrush. Some low opacity. That's pretty good. Where do we want it to drop into? No. Actually, that looks pretty good. That little shadow line. No, wait, hold up. How's that? What do you think, Crumb? Do I have the shadow in the right place or the wrong place? Yeah, it's good. Oh, sweet. I'm honestly most impressed by the shadow underneath the wings on the payload and the fuel pod, because that's all a single stroke. That's basically a straight line. I got it perfectly, and I don't know fucking how. All right, now I need to create the background, because I have clouds, and I need to figure out how to make them in such a way that it looks like this thing is moving fucking fast. So the question... Nope. Question is how to make that sort of... Ooh. Hold up, I may have just found my answer. Further some distance blurring. That's the kind of blur I was looking for in the imagery from before. Why does this look like it's not fast enough? Okay, that's better. I don't know, the clouds almost look wrong. Is that good or is that bad? I think that's better, actually, right there. Thinking about adding a bit of contrails, like some cloudy contrails to the edge of the wingtips. Let's give this a shot and see what this looks like. Ooh, that contrail came out good. Alright, so this layer is going to have to be underneath the vertical layer, because otherwise it's going to be visible in front of the tail, and that's not good. Oh, wait, hold up. No, don't clip mask, please. Oh, shit, that looks really good! Oh, fuck! Holy shit, this looks really good! I feel like the only thing I have left to challenge is the air intakes. And that's just going to be something as simple as low opacity soft brush. Across the top here. Holy shit, Crumb, look at this. What the fuck have I done? Actually, I don't know about the, let me figure this out. May have started modeling your jet in 3D. Nice! Nice! How should I shade the intakes? Like the inlet ramps feel like they need shading on them and it's not there. Light shading sweeping back from front to back. Nope. How's that for the inlet ramp? Does it feel right? Alright, now the only thing left to attack is the engine nozzles, because right now they have fuck all on them for coloration. Kind of been avoiding them because I wasn't sure how to deal with them, but should I have a ring of, like, afterburner highlight on the end? I feel like I should have a ring of afterburner highlight on, like, the very, very end of the engine nozzle. Oh shit, like that. Like this. Ooh, that's better. That feels much better. Yep. Some touch-ups feel like a huge improvement already. Oh, shit. Crumb, do you think I did a good... how do the clouds look? Feel a little too cotton strandy, but they're good for your first time really doing clouds. Well, I was trying to imitate the velocity, but I can erase this and just try again. I mean, if this is just the cloud layer. How do you think I should make it look for wait a minute. I have an idea. Rather than just fucking try a harder blend with a higher opacity. No. Ooh. I may have found something I can work with here, Crumb. How's that? Medium blend airbrush over him. That feels like a much needed improvement. Still the same problem? Oh, this is really nice. Hey, Crumb, do you have like a content creator Twitter page? Because when I go ahead and post this, I want to make sure that I ping you, like basically like give you credit for helping me out. You and Butterfly both. Mr. Fulcrum on X. Let's go ahead and pull that shit up real quick. Fulcrum. There we go. Full sent. Oh, shit. Can you be the group smartass? No. You're already not the group smartass. I don't need to ping you to prove it. All right. Holy shit. This looks really, really fucking good. This feels like so good it almost feels incorrect. Files. Full length. Files. There it is. Sweet. Holy shit. All right. Well, all right, so what am I going to do next? Next, I am going to... Who wants to help me pick which one I should do next? So, here are my options that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about either doing one for Zentrea, or it's got to be either Zentrea, or I'm thinking maybe Mori Calliope. And the reason I'm saying Mori is because she just went out for knee surgery, and I'm thinking that because she's the Grim Reaper, quote unquote, it would make sense if I hit her if I basically represented her as an AC 130, because what is the Grim Reaper if not an angel of death? So basically, when Callie comes back from her surgery, I want to drop that thing and just be like, what is the Grim Reaper if not an angel of death? Enemies beware, for your swan song returns. Anybody's thoughts, ideas? Zentrea, however, is the other person that was involved in this conversation over aircraft and Ace Combat, which is why I'm thinking of maybe doing her next as an F-14 Tomcat. And it would help me get some more practice in to make Callie's AC 130. Actually, I feel like I need a highlight real quick on this. No. Actually, that's better. That highlight on the fuel tank is definitely needed. Yeah, just a few extra details on those. Collapse TL, and then we'll replace it, because I think that's how this thing works. Wait, shit. That's fine. I probably just sported it the wrong way. Sweet. Okay. All right. You know, I'm thinking I might just end stream a little bit early and just kind of chill for a bit because, well, I gotta go download a bunch of other materials for the next drawing anyway. But, Jesus Christ, that is a bit loud. I might need to turn the music up a bit. All right, I have consumed. Okay. You know, what do you guys think? Should I try doing something random or should I just fuck off? Actually, hold up. Now that I'm thinking about it. Because I keep thinking about things and I keep going, what if? Alright, hold up. I'm looking at Hugel's highlights real quick. Sci-fi robot? You know, I'm not very good with anatomy yet and people. So, also, I kind of really want to make a series. Right, hence why you said robot. Right, okay. I'm tracking. You know, I could try drawing my character's gun. Yeah, I think I could do that. Place. Sports time lapse, full length. Actually, hold up. What if I try exporting it to just 30 seconds? Choosing video length. What does 30 seconds do? Just compress? Can you send me a screenshot? I kind of want to look. Yeah, I think it's taking longer because it's compressing everything into a 30-second video. Let's go. Sweet. Let's see what we got here. Oh, shit. What is it? What do the engine intakes look like? Can you send me a shot of the engines? Because that kind of reminds me of, like... This kind of reminds me of a Hawker Hunter. With maybe, like, wingtip fuel tanks. Holy shit. I see. Yeah, it kind of makes me think of a twin-engine Hawker Hunter. Like a modernized twin-engine Hawker Hunter. Hold up, I'm gonna find a picture of that and could actually 3D print it. Nice. I'm gonna find you a picture of the Hawker Hunter so you know what I'm thinking of. That one. And part 2, different angle. You had Harrier stuck in your head? Yeah. I can see a little bit of it. But that thing, and plus the wing root intakes, absolutely screams Hunter to me. With the sole exception of the twin engines. That yells F-15 slash, actually, no. That yells a combination of F-15, F-4 Phantom, and F-101 Voodoo. And I do want to make a Voodoo at some point for fruit. Yeah, Sci-Fi Interceptor Jet, exactly. All it needs to be. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Let's just brainstorm ideas of what I'm gonna make for people. That sounds like a good idea. I think this is like a... It's like a notepad, really. Turn the stabilization off, pretty much. Then called the F4 Reaper in your files. There you go. Nice. So let's see. Maury Calliope is going to be AC 130. And I like to give them all names as well. So, like, Mince is going to be the Solid Phantom. Callie's would be the Singing Reaper. Let's see. Zentreya. I think she'd appreciate being an F-14. The question, AC-130 Kraken? Why? I'm trying to give, like, I want to give all of them 2-word nicknames that are, like, sort of like how, like, World War II aircraft would have. No, Maury is the Grim Reaper. You're thinking of Ina. Ina is the one with tentacles. Maury Calliope is the pink-haired, red-eyed one with spikes on her shoulders. For spikes on her shoulder armor, supposed to be the Grim Reaper. The question is, what do I call Zentreya's airframe? F-14. I was thinking Cybercat, but that felt a little too Project Melody. F-14 Hellcat. No, but that's a different plane. That's a different aircraft name. That's just gonna mix me up. Let's see. Zentreya is an android from in theory, from a timeline in the future sent back to stop an attack. Huh. F-14. In the meantime, while we're thinking of this, I'm going to go ahead and write down fruit. It's going to be an F-101. 101 Voodoo. Nicknamed, I'm thinking, Voodoo Necro. Because she is a lich. Honestly, fuck it. No. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with Cybercat and come up with something else for Melody. I was thinking, let's see, Giga. I'm thinking that because her favorite F-89J Scorpion. Ooh, that's a good idea. For Giga, I'm thinking of making her the B-1 Lancer. Primarily because her favorite weapon is the spear. Yeah, F-89J, only the U.S. aircraft armed with air-to-air nuclear missiles. That's gotta be somebody with a temper. That's gotta be Chibi. That's gotta be Chibi Doki. Chibi Doki would have to be the F-89J Scorpion. For that explicit reason. F-89J Time Bomb. Because Chibi will fucking blow you away. F-89, let them cook, yes. Oh my god. Nah, I'm not gonna call something let them cook. No, nuclear cook, nuclear cook. F-89J, nuclear cook. The B1, I'm thinking calling the Spearhead Lancer because Giga's favorite weapon is a spear. Also, she's a mob army, and she basically has a lot of options at her disposal, which is like having a lot of shit, having a shitload of ordnance in your bomb bay. Let's real quick just leave. Oh, right, I was gonna do Hime Hajime. Was gonna be the Saab 35 Draken. But here's what are we going to call her? What are we going to call that one? So what are we going to do with that one? I'm going to call hers. It's because Hime Hajime is a dragon girl. Recently debuted a skin as an assassin. Oh no. It'd be fucking hilarious to call her the Draconic Double or Double Draconic. All right. So we have Fruit, Giga, Hime, Zentreya. We need, let's see, Matara Khan. We need Henya. We need Haruka. All right, Matara, Henya, Haruka. Fuck, who else is it? We need Kuro. We need Michi now. Giga, Fruit, Zen, Hime, Matara, Henya, Haruka, Kuro, Michi. We need Iron Mouse. We need Project Melody. All right. Fruit, Giga, Hime, Matara, Henya. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not all their members. Who am I missing? There's Kason. That's 12. There's another one I'm missing somewhere, isn't there? Hold up. Let me just pull up the VShojo page real quick. Let's find this shit. Where did I just type that? Kuro, Haruka, Giga, Hime, Iron Mouse. Wait a minute. Do I have 12? There's 12 members right now. Do I have all 12 people on my list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay, I do. Cool. I'm just miscounting like an idiot. All right. I'm thinking another person who needs to have one is probably, who at least is going to appreciate, is probably going to be Sarway. Let's see. Who else would probably want one of these? I feel like Len would probably enjoy one. Honestly, I feel like the bigger question is, who am I going to make the A10? Because whoever I make the A10 is just a fucking place of honor. Oh God, what if I made Philly in the A10? How would she fucking take that? Streamer you mod for loves the A10, but she's a smaller streamer. Ah, nice. Yeah, I'm prime. Could as a funny dude, Doki. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Yes. What is that? What funny spelled Funni? What does that mean? The meme version of doing a funny. Okay. A10. Well, Doki Bird is canonically a thief. What if I called this A10 Soul Stealer? Because she's a thief. That'd be hilarious. I should probably assign aircraft to all of these people first before I start picking up others. Let me see. Noteworthy French. Oh, right. I was thinking about. Hold up. Right. I remember. Hold up. French swing wing. Mirage. The Mirage G. All right. So here's a question. Matara speaks French. Ooh, nice. So Matara she speaks French, Russian, and Ukrainian. And so I'm debating whether I should make her the MiG-23 or if I should make her the Mirage G8, which is the French fighter, the French swing wing fighter that the MiG-23 took some design cues from, in addition to the F-111. When the Russians developed the MiG-23, they apparently took design cues from both the F-111 Aardvark and the Mirage G8. And so I'm wondering if I should make Matara that swing-wing Mirage prototype that apparently only served for 3 years, or if I should make her the MiG-23. But I specifically want to do a swing-wing plane because of her ability to fold her claws in and out. What should I think of? And yeah, I'm thinking of doing the F1. Primarily because it's a specifically Japanese design. I could do the F2, but it's gonna look it's kind of just it's basically just an upsized F-16 with slight geometry changes. What's the name of the Japan F1 fighter? Fighter name. It didn't have a name. It was just called the F1. I feel like Ellie, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like Ellie has to be the F-104 Starfighter because she loves fast cars and her shtick is being a crime boss, which means she probably kills a lot of guys, which means she ends up making a lot of widows. So the title of Widowmaker fits her and her activities. F-104. What do I call it? What do I call it? Ooh, Syndicate Starfighter, maybe. Because Crime Syndicate, but that feels a little long. Stolen Star. There it is. Sarway has gotta be... Now, what kind of airframe would she rather be? I feel like the Rafale. I feel like the only acceptable answer here is to give her the Rafale. Then what would I call it? Almost tempted to call her the Vautour. The Vautour. I kind of want to give her the Rafale, though, because I actually like the way the Rafale looks. Also, Crumb, how do I use the STL file for the Reaper? The Raphael. What does Raphael translate to? Or gust of wind, or burst of fire. Burst of fire, huh? Sarway is also a Metal Gear fan. And her backstory is that she was a super soldier bred in a lab. What should we call her aircraft? The Rafale. Burning Soldier. I feel like no, that feels wrong to say. That feels fucking wrong. Blazing Soldier. Can't use the word solid because I'm already using that for the Phantom, the solid Phantom. For mints. The Rafale. The Rafale would be... Ooh. I like the idea of accounting for the fact that the French are generally very proud. Searing pride. No, that doesn't make any sense. I need to keep this in... Rafale. Stern Soldier. I actually like that one. Because that kind of fits her personality a bit. She doesn't really like to fuck around. Henya's the F1. I feel like Kason would then be the F2. Kason is a Yakuza boss. Also curious what I'm going to make for what plane I'm going to assign to Haruka. Gotta pick some kind of Canadian airframe, but the only ones Hey, Crumb, what kind of aircraft does the Canadian Air Force use? I know they use the CF-18s, but what else do they have? Oh, and the Snowbird trainers. Actually, while I'm thinking of... I'm going to real quick look up the aircraft that Indonesia have. Interesting. The Hawk, the T-50, the Super Tucano for attack aircraft. Fighters, they have F-16s, Su-30s, and Su-27s. Mm-hmm. 33 F-16s, 5 Su-27s, and 11 Su-30s. Intend to purchase 50 KF-X fighter jets. They also purchased 42 Rafales from France and have signed for acquiring some F-15Xs. And They originally also had Sabres. They got A4 Skyhawks that were formerly Israeli ones. They also had F5 Tigers. 16. I might give him an F5 Tiger. Those are going to require some more thought. So let's see what Canada's got for aircraft. Avro Canada CF-105 Arrow. Oh. Oh, Avro was a Canadian company. CF-18 Hornet, F-35A. Holy shit, everything is up here. Well, that doesn't tell me everything they used to have. Doesn't give me a whole lot of options. Oh, nope. LEN Starfighter makes sense. Apparently it was both owned by Canada and operated by Canada for a while. I want to give Haruka something that sounds like nature. And then, of course, we have Iron Mouse and Melody. Really having to run through all the fucking fighter jets that I didn't know about. Wait, who would make a good Crusader? The, let's say, like the F-8 Crusader. Who would fly that? It's not the A8. Right, the Harrier's in here somewhere. A7 Corsair 2. Right. Never mind. That'd be a pirate type. See, who would be a Crusader? Who would be a Crusader? Who would be a Corsair? Also got the A6 Intruder. I need to think about more aircraft from other countries. What is the Viggen? What does Viggen stand for? Stand for Hunter? The Tufted Duck. Also ambiguous with the Thunderbolt. Ah! Okay. What am I going to do here? You know what? I think I should probably just call it for the night because my brain's starting to grind to a halt. All right. Everybody, thanks for showing up. I'm going to go ahead and find somebody to raid out to because I think it's just that time of night. All right, let's figure out who we're going to send to. So if you guys are here, make sure to drop the following raid command in the chat so they know who sent you. Oh, Sora's up and running with his new model. Let's go say hi. All right. Let's full send it. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.